guess they were seen coming out of it all right, so maybe now they'll, leave if they got what they came for and they don't need anything else. I don't know. Just a thought. I'll play some music. If anyone is listening, in fact, even if you're not, this is the Ink Spots. that King Cole there, he's just the best, isn't he? Diamond City Radio. Next is Bob Crosby, who is definitely my top 5 Crosbys, singing Way Back Home.
Got it.
Looking forward to that chair. You're so kind, helping me like this.
What are you building?
That was Butcher Pete by Roy Brown, not the other way around. It sounds like the Brotherhood of Steel is they're still around in the Commonwealth. I mean, I guess there was some sort of fight, like with lots of guns or whatever, at the ArcJet building. Some people, not me, just some other people who were totally different, were wondering if maybe they were looking for something specific. That makes sense, right? I mean, they like technology, gadgets, and stuff. So, the place they would go. I guess they were seeing coming out of it all right. So maybe now they'll, leave if they got what they came for, and they don't need anything else. I don't know. Just a thought. I'll play some music. Louis Jordan is up next. Spelled Lewis. People. This one I can relate to because I don't like talking to people.
Day Sanctuary. Survivors News.
Yes?
Hey, Carla.
Need to pick something up? Road's pretty long from here.
I've got a few minutes to browse.
You break?
That was Anything Goes
Cover
by
that tech I sent you for?
Cole Porter.
Here it
That
is.
was,
Good.
That was Anything
No,
Went.
it's here. I'll always want more tech, so believe me, I'll never. Once you're ready, come find me.
Sure. Affirmative.
That's what I like to hear. Here's the location.
Well, look who's back. I take it that area.
Affirmative.
That's what I like to hear. Here's your Commonwealth is a big place, and if you're interested in heading out on another mission, you let me know.
I'm ready.
Good answer. Here's details on the purge loop.
Right.
Complete the mission, report back to me.
This is Diamond City Radio, and I'm, it's me, Travis. Anyway. Here's End of the World by Skeeter Davis. It's, well, I think it may be a little melodramatic there, Skeets, but that's just me.
Playing and exploring after the activating Project Theory at the end of the main quest line. It's pretty broken steel. Once you turn on the purifier, your character dies from radiation exposure to the purifier. But now, thanks to broken steel, instead of being loaded back in front of the purifier, you just die with it. You now wake up 2 weeks later at the Citadel's hospital. Quick side note, broken steel only starts when you yourself turn the purifier. I tried to get Fox to say the classic line when he rejects you, asking to turn on the purifier. He cites destiny as the reason he can't go in and turn it on, despite him being a super mutant and fully immune to the deadly radiation blast the purifier shoots out. Curiously, it seems Fox's dialogue has in fact been updated. He will now actually go into the purifier and turn it on when you ask him. He even takes a jab at the original line, saying that he would have thought it destiny, but since we changed his, he will do it for us. Even Bethesda knew how ridiculous the ending was. But if you do that doesn't actually start broken steel. Once Fox turns it on, the game just reloads you back to the purifier, so you can go in and turn it on the right way this time. Anyway, we wake up to Elder Lion's 4K Ultra HD wrinkles. He tells us that we've been out cold for about 2 weeks, and that the purifier had been successfully turned on. The Brotherhood of Steel hard at work in the bottling and distribution of the nuclear war. We also learn that even though we had spanked the Enclave in Jefferson Memorial, they still pose a large threat to the wasteland and need to be destroyed for good. Shit, they're still not done? Despite having their base blown up, their ChatGPT-powered president destroyed, their general dead, and a large number of their power-armored soldiers and vertebrate fleet decimated in the battle for Project Purity. It seems they aren't ready to give up their water poisoning dreams quite yet. The Lions tasked us with helping the Brotherhood put them down for good, and warning us knighthood for our efforts. Kind of a crappy reward, but at least he's acknowledging us. So we head out to find Scribe Rothschild and plan our next move. Rothschild gives us a sweet PowerPoint presentation of the movements the Enclave has made when we were out cold. We learn that the Enclave, despite suffering a decapitating strike to his leadership, is suffering 2 consecutive crushing defeats. Their command hierarchy has remained intact, and their communications are still in operation. Rothschild tells us that the transmissions have been tracked from a military base in the southwest, and we're to go meet up with Paladin Tristan, who will assault the base with limited time from a collapsed artillery. After reaching the tunnel and linking up with the Brotherhood, we exit the tunnel to begin our assault on the base. For a game from 2008, this battle is pretty cinematic and bombastic, a lot like the assault on Project Purity from the end of the main quest line. Liberty Prime leads the charge, lasering Enclave moves and shoving his nukes and footballs at them, all while spouting his pretty hilarious anti-communist lines. I've always been a big fan of Liberty Prime. He fits well into not only the technology of Fallout, but also the humor and satire of the series as well. And it's always funny to watch him call the Enclave communists and shove the football at them like a quarterback. But also like his Project Purity counterpart. This battle is much more spectacle than it is in the actual engaging gameplay. Liberty Prime and the other Brotherhood of Steel soldiers, they convinced me that the opposing Enclave soldiers real fast. You, the player, can only usually get a handful of kills off when your allies completely obliterate them. But despite the assault going well, tragedy soon strikes. The Enclave calling an orbital strike on Liberty Prime. In his last moments, Prime urges us to retreat from him before being destroyed in the orbital strike. He made the ultimate sacrifice and died as a true patriot. I salute you as a true American. As for why the Enclave didn't call in an orbital strike on Liberty Prime during the battle for Project Purity, or drop an orbital strike on the Citadel at any given time, I'm not sure. Maybe the strike would have been too powerful or something, and it would have destroyed Jefferson Memorial. Maybe they didn't get it working until after the battle for Project Purity. Whatever the reason, I really could have used that as all I'm saying. But regardless, with Prime now gone, Tristan cracks the whip on us to go in the base and find out what they call the Orbital Strike. So we fight through a base full of Enclave troops, business as usual for Vol 3, and retrieve data on the Orbital Strike from the base's mainframe, and return back to Rothschild to give him the data. He tells us Lyons wants to speak with us again. It's disbelief that Nuclear Prime has been destroyed, which I totally understand. I would be pissed if my epic patriotic mech got destroyed. So we speak with Lyons, who's pretty shaken up by the loss of Liberty Prime, and say something along the lines of, "It's over. Liberty Prime has fallen. Millions must give up the fight." But I reassure him that everything will be fine, because I'm just a beast, and an absolutely Enclave slave. And he tells me to go link up with Tristan from the side. Speaking of Tristan again, we sent a submission to fetch a Tesla coil from the old only sewers to develop a new weapon. It seems he's setting us on a late game combat skill check, as I'm pretty sure Old Only is the most dangerous area of the base game of Fall. It's infested with death threats. So I make my way north to Old, and after searching a place for the sewer entrance, for some reason the map marked down moved to a metro station I passed down in DC, and didn't actually point to the actual entrance of the Only Power Works. So I had to spend some extra time and resources fighting off death claws while I tried to find the entrance. I eventually find the entrance in an alley surrounded by dead bodies and miscellaneous flesh and gore, and enter the sewers. The sewers are more of the same as on the surface. You're just killing more death claws, but now in a more confined space. Once we get through the sewers and chat up that guy from Twitter, we enter the only power works where we fight. You guessed it, more death claws. And this section is the most death clawy of them all. I even had to bust out the fat man indoors to clean out a room that had 3 death claws loitering around in it. This DLC does not play on the late game combat. We continue on and fight some more Enclave soldiers in a squad of sentry bots until we reach the heart of the power works. Find the Tesla coil in an electrified pit with some pretty cool looking lighting effects shooting out of it. Pick up the Tesla coil with our bare fucking hands. Youch. And return to the Citadel. Tristan tells us they have tracked the Enclave to Adams Air Force Base, and the only way to reach it is through the presidential metro station. He also takes the coil from us and tells us it will be used to make a Tesla cannon, a new heavy weapon that melts enemies with an electric blast. I make my way to the tunnel, and along the way get ambushed by Talon Company thugs who want me dead for being too nice of a guy or something. Who the hell am I ops with here? Satan himself? But I quickly pack them up and head off to the presidential metro. This metro station is another challenging combat area, full of turrets, tanky Mr. Gutsy robots, sentry bots, rogue ghouls, most dangerous of them all, the newly added fairly cool Reaver. Holy shit, the Reavers in Fallout 3 are jacked. They're spongier than Bob himself, having a health pool on par with a Death Claw. Throw radioactive poop at you now with big damage, and they also hit like a truck. All that coupled with the extremely fast and jerky movements, the relatively small hitboxes make this enemy a fucking nightmare to deal with. I fear these things more than actual death claws. These bastards also suck me dry as stim packs, which at least for me were pretty weak at restoring health, even with a maxed out mess instead, having fast metabolism burn. One stim pack only restored about 1/5 of my health, so I was hitting that pack pretty often. But thanks to my god tier gaming skills, and a little bit of shoddy programming, we take down the Reaver and hop on the train to the AAFB, complete with a train riding animation. I get off the train, fight a few more soldiers, and exit to Adams Air Force Base, which is a pretty sizable, impressive looking area, although it's still pretty linear, as many areas are blocked off by Enclave force fields. The best comparison I can make is that it's pretty similar to Hopeville and Lopes Road. I go over the supply cache of the Brotherhood that left me, which includes a newly built Tesla cannon, which is an absolute beast of a weapon. It fires a large electric blast that deals massive damage and deals even more electricity damage over time. And it only uses 1 electron charge in every shot. And I have thousands of rounds shoved in my back pocket. And it's an absolute lifesaver to get out of this area may be the longest and toughest battle in the entire game. The base is huge, infested with tough Enclave soldiers, and turrets are peppered all over the buildings. The difficulty was compounded even more by the fact that I had burned through all my stim packs to get here, so that Tesla cannon was pretty much essential.
Hey, what is up, Transformers fans? What was
That was Uranium Fever by... Oh, man.
But I forgot to use it.
By
I
Elton
just
Britton.
cut on the channel spot
Yes.
the first part of the base.
So,
Didn't even whip that shit out until later in the quest. Probably would have saved me some time and deaths, but... But once we take out or run by the Enclave troops, we enter their true base of operations, a fully functional base crawler.
the
Impressive
Minutemen
technology.
are out
Inside, we fight some Sigma males and even more
in
Enclave
the
units.
Commonwealth.
The crawlers
What
are
kind of
large
things, you
and
ask?
never into the building. It's pretty visually interesting, in contrast to the other neighboring colors throughout the base.
I have
We
heard
also run into a guy named Stiggs, a mechanic
that
employed
they
by
have
the
taken
Enclave.
over
I'm pretty sure he's the
castle.
only Enclave aligned
Which I guess
NPC
they're
who doesn't
time ago,
immediately try to kill us
while-
on sight. We can actually talk to him
full
from
of
the
fish.
facility. Unfortunately, though, Stiggs doesn't really have anything interesting to say about the Enclave, nor can we learn any new info about it from it.
I don't know.
Him being the only NPC in the Enclave we can actually talk to is pretty disappointing.
The
We still see the
Minutemen are there
potential to
now.
give us some interesting stories and
good.
characters from the Enclave,
them.
and maybe we could learn more about the goals of the people. It's
everyone
this
else.
Bethesda usually prefer to stay shallow. We don't even get a new Enclave commander to duel with
How
our
about...
The Enclave's apparently just Stiggs and 30,000 unnamed power armor clad soldiers. In fact, we're talking with Stiggs. We head upstairs and clear out the area. This area being a pretty dense and interesting area to explore. I'd even gotten lost trying to open the door to the roof. And actually using the Tesla cannon made things go much smoother in combat. I eventually find my way and open the door and get on the roof. And even with the Tesla cannon, it was a pretty tough fight up here. Enclave troops drop in from vertebrates and attack you from all angles. I was getting spanked a little bit. But I eventually make it through, and into the heart of the Color Quest, where I access the mainframe and target the crawl with the Organ Strike. At this point, you can either target the Enclave base or one of the Capital Wasteland settlements, which is essentially a do you want to be good or evil choice, as all the settlements available for targeting are friendly settlements, so the choice is pretty shallow. It's a more binary version of the Helios Road Quest in Fallout New Vegas. When we escape the base, where now conscious Sarah Lyons picks us up in a sweet vertebrate ride. We land away from the base and watch my camera ready to strike upon the massive display. And with that, we take another vertebrate ride back to the Citadel to complete Broken Steel. I feel like Broken Steel is a pretty good atomization of Fallout for the Outer Ridge. It has tight, engaging combat that feels pretty intense and challenging. It has a pretty great spectacle to it. Battling alongside Liberty Prime, fighting through the massive Adams Air Force Base and Enclave Crawler, watching it blown and come via Orbital Strike was pretty impressive for a 2008 game. But besides the engaging combat and spectacle, Broken Steel falls pretty flat in pretty much all other aspects. The story builds off of the not great Fallout 3 main quest line, which means the issues from that don't translate either. The Enclave are still just one-dimensional bad guys, and the only non-open and hostile NPC factor with Stiggs was pretty disappointing. Broken Steel could have gone a long way in giving the Enclave and its soldiers some more depth and lore. I mean, this isn't the last hurrah, but they're just here to take it with spanking. Even the Brotherhood aren't even that interesting. Owen Lyons just sits in the Citadel and anxious all day. Sarah Lyons only shows up at the very end to save us and report that she isn't in fact dead. And Paladin Tristan just exists in part orders.
Yeah, you can, but unless you don't, you gotta make sure you got a good rating on it, because if you do, everyone will start shooting you.
It plays more like Fallout and Doom instead of an actual Fallout game, if that makes sense. Broken Steel also adds 3 side quests to the open. They all revolve around the effect having drinkable water has had on the Capital Wasteland, and the various complications that it can cause. To start these quests, you will talk to the hilariously overworked Scribe Bixby at the now functional Jefferson Memorial, whose character model looks so tired and sickly from all the hours into a post-apocalyptic bureaucrat. We're always gangbangers. We offer him some help. Points us towards helping water caravans out of Rivet City that are being attacked, and Megatel's watershed is getting used up mysteriously by now. The Rivet City quest is pretty strong.
Oh yeah, actually I want to try something. So there's this app you could get, and I want to see if it still works. Yes. So if you bought the collector's edition, you could put your phone into this Pip-Boy, the Pip-Boy that you have on your arm, and it will. Oh, maybe I gotta click something for it. I could just literally, while mid-game, I can click it and heal myself. I could equip guns. I could do whatever. I can mark stuff on the map on here. It's actually pretty cool. Ooh. You can, but I don't. It's not gonna help you. It might not work since I'm on a PS5. I was looking for PS4s. I used to use this sometimes because it was so helpful to just be like, oh, my phone's right here, click, 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 click. And then boom, I just use like 3 steps. Yeah, it probably doesn't work since on PS5. It was such a cool concept. There's a demo mode. And literally, it's literally everything that you can do. I can go through my inventory. I can go through all this shit. I can look at the map. Radio. Oh, too bad I can't play the radio in here. That'd be cool. I would love that. Oh, shit.
Location, which is already determined, and on the body of a bandit, we find a note from the gang's leader, Split Jack. We learn his plan to attack caravans with their water so often that the caravans will have no choice but to surrender their water to his gang and force them pay them a protection right. Pretty simple stuff in all honesty. Luckily for us though, that note we found also contains a full docs of the gang's base of operations, so we head on over to Wilhelm's Wharf. Upon arriving, speaking of Split Jack to stop the attacks, join up with the gang, kill them. He said if you join his gang, all the restrictions actually away, making it essentially pointless outside the metal armor he gives you to complete the quest. Even after joining, you go either have to kill them or convince him to leave. So Split Jack's turns to Melbourne authorities to complete the quest. It's definitely the weakest of the group, making a simple bandit exterminator. The next quest is much more interesting. After arriving at Megaton to investigate the missing water, an NPC hands us a handful of advertising on the water. This is Eternal Light, an offshoot of the Children of Adam who seem to be in possession of suspiciously large amounts of water. So we head on over to their church, which is the basement of a blown-up house. Pretty modest bit. Speak to their doorman, Morgan Clark, uses a bottle of the advertisement for water, which we drink and learn is just water that's been irradiated. We need to get to the bottom of this, which we're all less into the church unless we are irradiated. So I take a quick trip to Vault 87 to get a Kamehameha blast of cancer right into my nutsack, so Gerard can let me in. Once inside, we find the leader of the church, Mother Curie III, who speak to her with a full picture. We run through some pretty cheeky dialogue with her, the apostle of taking aqua pure that's irradiating the absolute shit out of it, and then giving it away as holy water, in an attempt to irradiate the local populace, and eventually turn them into ghouls. As these guys seemingly revere ghoulification, which is a pretty interesting development from the base Children of Adam cult. And it makes more sense that ghoulification would be worshipped over just plain old tumor-inducing radiation that Professor Cromwell rambles about. Despite my requests, Curie refuses to stop her water poisoning around here, so I was forced to perform some religious persecution. And after wiping out the church and some ghouls they had locked up in their basement, we returned to Biggs to make the final quest. After passing a check, we get Biggs into a reveal that he can throw some water on the side with some extra caps. That he's been selling a bunch of water to a group named Arthur. That he's been peddling it in the whole settlement under him. Unsure as to why a radiation of who was buying barrels and barrels of purified irradiated water, we head on over to Underworld to investigate. When we enter Underworld, we find Griffin on the makeshift stage, trying to sell something he calls Aquacura to civilians. Griffin regales the audience with his claims that his Aquacura is a miracle substance that can cure any ailment. With hair like that, how can you not trust him? Well, this one skid doesn't. We confront Griffin and ask him about his Aquacura. Griffin claims has a secret ingredient added to it that makes it a miracle medicine. So I buy a bottle off of him for 10 caps, and taking a look at it with my hip boy reveals that the water is radiated. Damn, scammed again. My friend Griffin reveals that he's got a hustle going where he sells the water to humans, and then just rebottles the aqua pure with normal or radiated cancer water. This guy would have made a killing in Griffin. We return to Bigsy to learn more about his business with Griffin. He tells us that when he sells Griffin the water, they just deliver it to the Museum Authority building at the National Mall. So off we go to investigate. At the Authority, we find it guarded by some luscious-headed ghouls. We also find where Griffin is running his aqua pure bottling scam out of. We return to Underwood to confront him. We force him to tell the truth to his buyers. They fly into a rage and start shooting at Griffin. Griffin ran off into the adjacent room. When I followed him to watch the chaos, I got attacked by feral ghouls and had to fend them off, which made the ghoul buyers turn hostile on me, which ended pretty cool. So maybe I should have let things be with Griffin, as revealing the scam left all 5 involved dead. My bad, guys. Although fairly brief, these side quests are pretty enjoyable, playing around with a lot of fun ideas that introduce free clean water to all main cause. There's just a lot for world building and making the wasteland feel dynamic. Although these quests could have benefited from a bit of expansion and role-playing options, such as maybe even joining in on Griffin's scheme, or actually being able to fight alongside the water bandits. But overall, 2 of the 3 quests seem to split ends. But with that, we can move on to the next expansion, Operation Anchorage. DLC number 2. We got Operation Anchorage. Operation Anchorage starts when you listen in on the Brotherhood Outcast distress signal, which is requesting support for their location. The Brotherhood Outcasts are a splinter faction of the Capital Wastelands Brotherhood, who had broken off from them after they had become disillusioned with the Alliance priorities shifting from securing core technology and maintaining the Brotherhood's traditional isolation stances to becoming a sort of benevolent police force of the Capital Wasteland, but more focused on killing mutants and protecting wastelanders. This shift in mission priorities led many Brotherhood hardliners to believe that these changes would eventually destroy the Brotherhood, as too many lives and resources would be lost calling the seemingly endless mutant hordes. So they broke away and formed their own, edgier Brotherhood, with a cool dark red color scheme instead of the lame good guy gray that the regular Brotherhood was. This is a pretty interesting setup for a potential conflict that directly comments on Brotherhood's new and controversial role in the series. But the game doesn't go anywhere with this conflict, neither does the DLC, so don't get too excited. By the time Fallout 4 drops and Brotherhood will be this schism was solved off screen by other Max than anyone. That's really matter at all. Regardless, Nito is the source of the transmission, and Outcast Paladin River. He gradually allows us to tag along, and we fight through some cheese mutants until we reach their outpost. Morel sees that we have a Pip-Boy on our wrist that can interface with a simulation pod they found, yet we're unable to operate due to a lack of a compatible interface with the pod, until we stroll in with a Pip-Boy on our wrist. But that begs the question, could the Outcasts not find one working Pip-Boy? Are they that rare? That's a whole can of lore we can't get into right now, though. So anyway, we meet with the Outcasts. We're all pricks to us. Protector McGraw gives us a rundown of the simulation. Tells us that we completed, we'll unlock our weapons cache. Now proud and motivated. We put on our simulation jammies and enter the group simulation, starting the DLC in earnest. Operation Anchorage on the surface is a super cool concept. The Battle of Anchorage is probably the most important conflict before the Great War started, so it's super dope to see it in action. But, since it's a simulation, things are pretty different from the enemies now phase out of existence for kill, and they cannot be looted. You can only loot weapons placed in the world that glow a pulsating red and make a droning sound like nerves or close, with only a select number of weapons available for use. Those being the 10mm pistol and SMG, the assault rifle, the Chinese type, the missile launcher, the sniper rifle, the Gauss rifle, and that's about it. The same goes for health and ammo, which can be replenished at health and ammo reset points. The mechanics of all 3 of them can be stripped back to make way for combat-focused expansion. This is some real Fallout 3 gameplay. It's a very interesting choice for Bethesda to make a DLC that's carried by the gunplay and shooting mechanics of Fallout 3. And the results can be pretty airy. The story for this DLC is practically non-existent, as you're just going through various battle scenarios while getting orders barked at you. The first section of this DLC is pretty visually interesting, though. You fight along large, snowy cliffs and canyons, fighting Chinese soldiers and fighting through cliffside bases and caverns. Our first goal is to destroy the large artillery guns located at the top of the cliffs. Destroying them is pretty straightforward. Just walk to the back of the gun, interact with a large glowing box on the back of it, strap a bomb to it, and stand back until it blows up. Rinse and repeat 2 more times. Don't stand too close. All the while fighting 10,000 faceless Chinese soldier NPCs. The Chinese soldiers come in 2 forms, a more generic soldier and a stealth suit equipped soldier. The snow suits look really dope and allow their wearer to turn invisible, which usually just makes the combat more annoying than anything, because the ripple from the invisibility is still easy enough to see and shoot at. The enemies can't be targeted in fast when invisible, so you just gotta spray at them and fall through some dubious safe protection. But once those artillery guns are cooked, the game teleports you out of the cliffs to General Chase's camp, where he briefs you on the next step of your mission. We have to destroy a listening post, a tank depot, and disable a minefield so we can reach the oil refinery the Chinese were using as a base. We also unlock the ability to request loadouts and squads to help us in this mission, which is done through clunky-ass terminal. The squad building was touted as one of the primary features of the DLC, but in practice it's just a pretty simple mechanic that lets you select which friendly NPCs will team up with you in battle. You get 5 points to spend on allies. It costs 1 to 4 points to recruit. I recruited a 4-point sentry bot to help me take out the listening post, where he probably got blown the fuck up. Damn, this is kind of a good representation of the squad system in this DLC. At best, it'll provide a bit of extra firepower. You're still going to be mostly doing the heavy lifting yourself. Also, besides picking the squad and telling them where to go via dialogue, you don't have any other extra control over it. Plus, the only spot mate I really need is Ben Montgomery here. He's essential and won't get killed. He's the perfect soldier. These next missions are more the same as before, with the only difference being the difficulty, which takes a solid jump, as the enemies are more numerous and have much more range on you. Your health is going to get chewed up a lot by snipers, with limited range options to counter them. You have to take some hit points closing in the gap to kill them. We continue playing Fallout and Doom. We destroyed the listening post and Chimera Tank Depot, even fighting one of the Chimera tanks, which are funny-looking snow tanks that move with corkscrew cylinders instead of treads. Once those were destroyed, we can link up with a squad of power-armored soldiers and
Let's see what you have.
where the reporter takes a picture of some opposing Marines. That picture being the origin of the Anchorage Memorial statue we find at the base camp, which is a cool little touch. We then disable the mine pulse field, which conveniently is deactivated from our side of the minefield, and we assault the oil refinery. After we enter, we're locked in place and watch General Jing Wei flashily execute a soldier with his sword. Then he turns to us. If you pass the speech check, you can convince him to commit suicide with just one sentence, which is pretty damn hilarious. But I failed that check and had to duke it out with him. From this fight, I can assume Jing Wei was given the title of general for his incredible resistance to bullets. Even several Gauss rifle blasts to the face doesn't faze this guy. I actually run out of ammo fighting him and had to blast his kneecaps off with a missile launcher to take him down for good. This interaction with Jing Wei is the only real time the simulation aspect of the DLC is used in a fun way. Jing Wei's over-the-top dialogue and the ability to have him stab himself with just one line is pretty funny. It fits perfectly with what propaganda the US would have put in the simulation. Outside of this instance, though, the simulation only really exists to justify the more constricted mechanics of this DLC. Even just having the generic Chinese soldiers say crazier things would have gone a long way for this DLC. But regardless, when Jing Wei dies, General Chase appears before us to announce the end of the simulation, jack out of it. With the simulation complete, we can now open the armory to get the real prize of this DLC, a sweet suit of winterized T-51B power armor. On top of just being a sweet-looking suit, its condition also never seems to go down.